Hi, I'm Gavin. In this vlog I'm going to talk about the skills you can gain while teaching English here in China. I think there are a lot of skills you can gain in China and a lot of other skills that you can improve upon while you're here. So for example, you gain confidence, you improve your communication skills, your time management, your planning and organisation, and you'll also learn new skills, especially if you've never taught before, such as classroom management. So the first one is your confidence. Teaching here will really help to boost your confidence levels. You might have done presentations before at school or university, or you might have faced like really angry customers at your work, but all of that doesn't seem like anything until you faced a class of 40 teenagers. And after you've done that, nothing seems that bad. Nothing you'll face afterwards will be that daunting, because it will really just boost your confidence levels a lot. You'll also notice your communication skills massively improve, and they'll need to. When you're teaching Chinese students, especially the younger ones who perhaps don't know as many words, they don't have such a large vocabulary as the older students, you'll have to find new ways to communicate with them. And this could be through acting out the various words, or by showing emotion with your facial expressions, or using whatever objects you can find in the classroom to really help get the idea across, get the words across to help them understand. So you'll notice that your communication skills massively improve. Communication also extends outside the classroom, so when you're out and about in your city, exploring or just going about your day-to-day life, you'll need to communicate with the locals. And at first this will be quite difficult, especially if you can't speak the language at all. But I highly recommend you learn some Mandarin before you come here, and when you are here it's really easy to take lessons, and you've got so much practice because everyone here speaks Mandarin, and you will find ways to communicate with the locals even if your Mandarin isn't perfect. Your time management skills will also get a lot better while you're in China. It's going to have to get better because you can't just turn up to class whenever you feel like it. You can't submit student grades whenever you feel like it. You have to stick to the deadlines, and it definitely helps having a timetable. And you'll also get into the routine of sort of planning out when you will make your lessons, when you'll make your lesson plans, when you'll mark homework or mark the exams if that's something the school asks you to do. And it's just really self-discipline, getting into the routine, and you'll figure it out pretty soon. Once you're in this routine, you'll probably get better and better at it, become more efficient, and you might even notice you have more spare time. Your ability to plan and organise will improve while you're here. Each semester you'll have to come up with your own lessons or your own exam, your own homework, if the school doesn't provide a curriculum for you. So you'll have to plan out all your lessons, and if you're not already good at planning and organising, you're definitely gonna become better at it just by the process of repeating the lesson planning process. Now, creating lessons is a skill and it's a learning process. Your lessons probably won't be amazing when you first start off. When I think back to my lessons from my first semester here, I cringe at them. They were terrible. Now I think my lessons are fairly good, but they could still be improved, and I'll probably look back a year from now and think these ones are terrible as well. So it's a continuing process, and you'll gradually get better and better at it. But if your lessons suck at the beginning, don't worry about it, you will get better. That brings me to the next skill I think you'll develop here in China, and that is creativity. Personally, I think I've become a lot more creative since moving to China. And maybe it doesn't happen to everybody, but I feel I've become more creative. And once you start creating lessons, the ideas just start to flow, and the ideas pop into your head. You might just be walking around doing your thing day to day, and you'll have an idea for a lesson pop into your head, and from there the ideas just start to flow, and your lessons become sort of more creative. You bring in more fun ideas that you can do with your students, and over time you'll see that improvement of your lessons. And if you're ever struggling for lesson ideas, don't worry, there's a ton of resources on the internet that you can use for inspiration. You can pretty much Google any subject followed by ESL lesson, and it will give you a ton of lesson ideas that you can copy. Or you can do the same on YouTube, type in the subject plus ESL lesson, and you'll get loads of resources you can use. You'll get ideas for lessons, you'll get songs, games, things like that you can throw into your lessons. So don't worry if at the beginning you're not feeling very creative, or your ideas for lessons don't seem that good. Just use the internet and you'll have lots of stuff that you can use. And finally, if you've never taught before, you're going to learn classroom management. Now generally the students are well behaved, but there's always a time where they're a little too chatty or they're distracted, or rarely you might just have one really bad student who doesn't want to follow any rules. You will get better at dealing with these situations. You'll learn how to get them to be quiet, you'll learn how to keep their attention, and you'll learn how to deal with those students that just won't behave. These are things that will come with time. And for this, I'd recommend you set out the class rules really early on, probably in your first lesson, and also let the students know what will happen if they break the rules. Your school might give you rules that you have to follow, that the class has to follow, or in some cases you might have to make up some rules yourself. Either way, do it early on, let the students know what will happen. There's probably a bunch of other skills that you'll learn or improve upon while teaching English in China. You're going to learn how to adapt, not just to a new culture, but also to last minute schedule changes. If you've never lived alone or you've never lived abroad before, you're going to learn how to deal with that, how to go about banking abroad, doing your your weekly shopping abroad, things like this. They're all skills that you're going to pick up or improve upon while you're out in China. It's a great experience and you're going to learn a lot here. It's going to give you lots of skills that you can take forward if you decide to carry on teaching, and also lots of skills that you can take and apply to other jobs if you decide to switch careers afterwards. So I think teaching in China is definitely a great way to learn and improve yourself. So thanks for watching. Bye.